act like you're there.
All right, coming to you live. First episode of the State of Cowboys Nation. Myself and the biggest Cowboys fan in the state of Texas, Rye Harper.
What's up, John? How's it
Uh,
going, bro?
I'm doing all right, not too bad. We finally got ourselves on the Cowboys podcast. Had a little technical difficulties earlier. Thankfully, we weren't live when we had that trouble. If it doesn't sound right, anything doesn't sound good live, just let us know. But as far as I know, we should be good. And topics for today's pretty much we just want to go over like the roster cuts, the waiver wire, and practice squads, stuff like that, injuries. Pretty much just a roster going into the season and how we see the Cowboys doing, starting the season, that sort of thing. So let's go ahead and kick it off with talking about the big trade that happened a few days ago, and that's Dallas trading a fourth round pick to the 49ers for Trey Lance, the very often slandered quarterback for the San Francisco
Yeah.
49ers. What do you think about that, Ryan? I don't know. Well, I want to hear what you have to say about it, and then we'll go from there.
Well, I think it was a pretty good pickup. Like we had talked before about adding another quarterback to the quarterback room. Like Cooper Rush is good, but we talked about how Dallas just never had like another guy back there. That's been a starter.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was a pretty good pickup. We didn't give up much to get him. The fourth round pick, not too bad.
Yeah, I said that Dallas gave up too much with the fourth round pick.
Oh shit.
But
Johnson, that was too much.
yeah, I thought
Oh
it was
man.
pretty steep because honestly, I just heard pretty much that Dallas traded for Trey Lance, so I was like, okay, that's we'll see what happens, right? Even if something happened to Dak this season, there's no way Trey Lance is going to play unless something happened to Cooper Rush. Like after the way he performed last year, that's pretty much the depth chart. So I thought it was a lot because
Yeah.
Dallas has been doing really well in the draft, especially in the middle of the draft. But
Oh yeah.
some people like yourself, if you think it's kind of a steep reach, but you never know. Like there could be some talent there. I don't think so, but I think it's one of those things where we just have to wait and see.
Yeah. I guess I just really never watched him play like when he actually played. So like all I know is just it's the Trey Lance that came out of college. So
Yeah, and that was the main issue with him was, he played 1 year, basically 1 year at North Dakota State, didn't play during the
yeah.
COVID year, and then went into the draft. And then his rookie year, I think he played 4 games and then was out the whole season. So yeah, you're not the only one who hasn't seen hardly any of Trey Lance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
But
it,
yeah, I think it's a pretty good pickup. Like yeah, I hope it lights a fire under Dak's ass.
yeah,
Just to know that there's another younger guy behind him.
yeah, you never because I mean you never know, right? Like I mean, I don't know how old he is. I don't have his age pulled up here, but he's pretty young, right? So,
Yeah,
you never know how these guys are going to develop. Nobody thought Dak Prescott was going to become what he is today, for the most part.
right.
Trey Lance
Yeah,
had a lot of hype behind him because the 49ers traded up so much for him and then just dropped him like a bad habit. But, um,
yeah,
I don't know. We'll see what he could do, but it's not something where they need a or have to rush him along. They could be patient with them now.
yeah. Well, it's good to have him there, but let's hope we don't see him.
Yeah, right.
Let's hope we don't have to see
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah,
I agree. And then the other issue that I thought was they traded for him before cut day and the waiver wire. So I was looking,
yeah.
and like the Patriots, they cut Bailey Zappi, cut Malik Cunningham, and then the Cardinals cut Colt McCoy. So I thought Dallas could have
Oh, I
actually
saw that one.
waited. Yeah, I thought Dallas could have actually waited and picked up a quarterback. But they I guess they really liked Trey Lance, and I remember, and you were saying something to me earlier about Jerry Jones not what happened there?
Oh, apparently, apparently Jerry Jones didn't, inform Mike McCarthy or Dak Prescott before making the actual move. So
Yeah.
it's I could see why Dak, has been a little iffy about it. When they asked Dak about it, the only response he really gave was that he was gonna miss Will Greer and that was
Uh,
all, he wanted to speak on. So
okay. Yeah. And speaking of Will Greer, Jerry Jones said, "Hey, buddy, we're gonna cut your ass, but you're gonna get to play the whole game against the Raiders." And he showed out.
yo,
He had like the game of
yeah,
his life against
hey,
Vegas.
man, his career was on the line, really, like
Yeah.
it was either, he had to have his chance to ball out, and I respect Dallas for, giving him that chance to just go out there, show out, and give himself a chance to put food on the table for his
Yeah.
family. Because I mean, a lot of fans get excited about football, but they don't stop and think about the people that get cut and have to move from place to place and figure out where they're gonna go next and how they're gonna get paid. But
Yeah. Yeah, that was good, and I think I read earlier this morning where a team did pick him up. So
nice,
yeah, good for him.
that's good. Hey, mission accomplished.
Exactly. The other thing we're gonna talk about is the rosters and the waivers and who Dallas cut, who they
Yep.
hung on to, and I guess I mean, we talked about the quarterback position, so let's go ahead and move on down and talk about let's talk about the running backs because I know you have a lot to say about Dallas's running backs. So what do you think about Dallas keeping? It looks like Rico Dowdle and then cutting Malik Davis and the running back group as a whole. What do you think about that?
Yep. Yeah, well, I mean, I was pretty surprised with the cut of Malik Davis because they were using him a lot in the preseason and they were making it seem like he was the top running back number three. But yeah, I'm happy that that they kept Deuce Vaughn around even though
Oh yeah.
Malik Davis had to find another job. But man, I'm happy that we did keep Deuce Vaughn, and of course we got Tony Pollard coming back. Strong running back number one. I think he's gonna
Hmm.
have a great year, even coming off the injury. Like he's a talented player, good athlete. I think he should be fine coming back.
Yeah. And my I guess not my gripe, but my issue with Tony Pollard is his size and having to carry the load for a whole season. He's been able to. I mean, he's been a great backup for Zeke, but now he's going to be like the guy to get at least. I mean, you never know. I'm assuming he's probably going to get at least like 20 to 25 carries in a game. But they'll be
Yeah,
able to work a pretty strong rotation, in my opinion, with running backs.
yeah,
Deuce Vaughn, we know what he could do. He's a great running back. Don't let the size fool you, right?
yeah. I think he's gonna be crazy, man. Like I'm excited to see him get on the field. Like he's explosive. He's small, so he's hard to get a hold of.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be a good back. We also have Rico Dowdle. I think he had a good preseason, being able to kind of start for Dallas and
Hmm.
they gave him that role most of the preseason and he did pretty well. He had a, couple of mishaps here and there, but
Yeah,
yeah.
he had that. Was it the Seahawks game where he had at least a fumble? He didn't have a very good game. That was when
Yeah.
I don't know if that was the first preseason game or the second preseason game, and he fumbled and he didn't look very
Yep.
good. But he made the roster. He jumped Malik Davis, so that's a positive. And he
Right.
had a good game. I think I can't remember which one it was, but he's got some talent though. He'll work in good and probably get some reps in.
Yeah, and then we also have Ronald Jones, of course, which he's going through his own, things behind the scenes. He's suspended, of course, and
Oh,
apparently
that's
he's
right.
coming off of a groin injury. He finally started practicing with the team, I think, today. But yeah, he's still suspended, I think. Is it 4 games or 6 games?
I I don't remember. I know he got popped for PEDs, and I don't remember if it was two
Yeah,
games, 4 games. Let me see if I can pull it up really fast.
yeah, but yeah. I mean, I think he's a good back. You know, he did well when he was with the Buccaneers. You know, he was he was fighting for that running back one position when he was
Mm-hmm.
there with Tampa Bay. So,
Yeah.
I mean, of course, that's not going to be the case here in Dallas, but I
No.
think he could be a strong, running back two or three. But ultimately, yeah, the running back room is looking really good right now. So is the quarterback room.
Yeah, and it looks like Ronald Jones is only suspended for 2 games, so that's not too bad.
2 games. Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
two
yeah, yeah.
games, so that's not too bad. But I think
So yeah, he's healed, and yeah, 2 games isn't that much. So
no,
we'll see
I think
see
Deuce
what they
Vaughn will
do with him.
get. I think he'll get a lot of playing time. Um,
I hope so. That's what I really hope to see, but I'm just going off of realistics, like,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I
No,
mean,
I get
that's what I
that.
really want to see play. I hope they put him in.
and and let's see here, and because we did have quite a few wide receivers that got cut, and we have a let's see here. Dallas is coming into the season with let's see here just 6 wide receivers, and so a notable cut was Dontario Drummond. He had a pretty good preseason in my opinion. He was it looked like he was pretty fast. He did a great job. Um, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, our guy John Stevens Jr. listed as kind of a tight end
Yeah.
H back. He got hurt, and he's on
Yeah.
the
Six
injured
five.
list now. Yeah, 6'5".
Damn. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it sucks to see him go as well as Overshawn from Texas, the rookie.
Oh yeah,
I
blown
was looking
knee.
forward to seeing him play too, but they'll be back hopefully. I mean, I don't know what type of injuries they have. Did they both blow their
Yeah,
knees
they
out
both
or?
had torn ACLs.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, maybe next year, but
Yeah. I
you
mean,
know,
because we were
ultimately,
watching that. Yeah. Yeah. We were watching that Seahawks game, and, we didn't even, we saw, what was he? John Stevens Jr.'s number 49.
yeah,
Yeah.
big 49.
And then we
We
looked
thought he
him
was a
up.
running back.
Yeah. And then
Yeah,
we looked him up. He was 6'5". I said, whoa, whoa, whoa.
the dude is huge.
Yeah. So that
He just
was
looks
pretty
small because of his
disappointing.
number.
Exactly. Right. That dude should have been 80 something, and he would have definitely stood out.
Yeah, there were a lot of big cuts though. Like I was surprised to see them cut Jabril Cox.
Yeah. Jabril
I thought
Cox.
we just drafted him, I think, last year, and he was supposed to be, a starter for us. He got a lot of playing time last year and in the preseason, but I guess they didn't like what they saw.
Yep. No, and let's see here. And he actually signed with the Redskins, the Commanders, the football team, whatever you want to call them. And that
Yeah,
was earlier
I
today,
don't
so yeah.
I don't blame him. He's mad.
Yeah,
He's
right.
bitter.
He is bitter, but
We offered him a practice squad spot on our team, and
oh,
he
they did
chose to
offer
go
him.
to the Commanders practice squad instead.
Oh, he's
Like,
not even
okay,
on the main roster. He's on the practice squad for
no,
Washington.
yeah, yep,
Wow. Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I thought he actually got like a roster spot, and that's why he went to Washington. But yeah, he definitely
no,
must have been pretty salty about that.
yeah, because I think he just went to Washington today, or it was
Hmm.
like pretty recent after the cut,
Yeah. And then
and
who else? Who else? What else? I'm trying to
I
think
was
who else got
surprised.
cut.
So the tight end, Sean McKeon, he had a pretty good game in that Seahawks
The
preseason
Seahawks
game.
game. Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, it
McKee.
was surprising to see him go, but I mean, we have a lot of good tight ends on the depth chart either way. So,
Yeah,
but
at least McKeon, they kept him on the practice squad, and they also kept Prince and Fant on the practice squad. So Dallas loves their
oh,
tight
okay,
ends, and I'm looking at it right now, which I didn't know this until right now. But yeah, both of them they kept them on the practice squad at least. So just in case one of
Oh,
those
okay.
three tight ends gets injured. Uh, Dallas will
Yeah.
have at least guys waiting to come in and to help them out. And yeah, the Cowboys they're really deep on the defensive line and at the tight end position.
Yeah, I think so too. One defensive lineman I was pretty surprised to see go was Quentin Bohannon. You know, he was a veteran for us. I think he was there last year and the year before maybe. But yeah, that was pretty surprising to me. But I think either way, we're pretty stacked on both the offense and the defensive end.
Yeah,
But
and
yeah,
then
but back to the depth chart. I mean, that's really it's really what matters most. You know, all these guys that got cut. It sucks to see them go, but Cowboys are deep either way,
yeah,
honestly.
Cowboys are very deep team. What about the other defensive end we were talking about during the Seahawks game? Ben Benogu, he got cut too.
Yeah. He did decent. I mean, he didn't really make too much noise, and yeah, we're pretty stacked on the defensive end side of things. So
And I'm not too sure why
he
they
was
gave him
wearing,
number 94 either.
yeah. So that made it a little easier to see him go.
Right? It was like, all right, there's something wrong here. Like either this guy, because with the Cowboys, they give basically like the best pass rusher, number 94.
Right.
The past one, Demarcus Ware, Randy Gregory, and then Ben Beno. Like that's yeah, whatever. But
Yeah.
they cut him. So who knows that he'll nobody will probably be number 94. I imagine, at least this season. But they do have
Yeah.
Dante Fowler Jr. He made the roster.
Yeah. Yeah. He made some noise in the preseason too, man. So did old Wanye Thomas.
Wanye
Let's talk
Thomas.
about Wanye Thomas. That
Yes,
guy just
please.
he just wants to hit somebody every play.
Guy's a sinking missile.
Yeah, dude. Even if he can't get the guy with the ball, he's gonna hit the blocker. Whoever's by him, they're getting knocked out.
He's
It's so
flying
good.
around. It was the Seahawks game. We're watching him, and he's playing like he's
Yeah,
Brian Dawkins, just like coming up to the line of scrimmage or trying to catch somebody over the middle, just wanting to blast them. So I hope he plays on
yeah,
special teams. He more than likely will, I imagine. Since
yeah. He's
I
a
think they
he's a
have him
headhunter for
listed.
sure.
Yeah, I think they have him listed. Is he third on the depth chart? I don't know if you have it pulled up the depth chart.
Uh, Man, I think yeah, he's
He's
third on the safeties,
okay. Yeah,
the strong safety position. But man, I think he has a chance of playing some linebacker with the injury to Overshawn and also the cut of Jabril Cox. Like,
yeah.
I mean, our linebackers still have to have some sort of rotation, even though we have strong starters. And I feel like Wanye Thomas would definitely be one of the best safeties to come in at a linebacker position and
And,
just hit
and
somebody, dude.
that's what Dan Quinn did the other year with who was it? Devontae Casey. Whenever Casey came in
Yep.
from Atlanta, he was a safety, and
Right.
they bumped him down to linebacker. So
Yeah.
I
Same
think
with
if they do something,
Keanu.
yeah, Keanu Neal, that was the other guy.
Yeah, he used to flip flop him around too. So it's something he's known to do, and hopefully Wanye Thomas gets his number called, man.
Yeah, yeah. So Dan
What
Quinn likes
number
those
is he wearing
guys.
this year?
I don't know. I'm not too sure what his number is. The roster that I have in front of me doesn't have the numbers, so I'm not too sure.
Oh, okay. Shoot. I hope.
Let's see
Yeah,
here.
I think he'll have a good chance of getting some playing time, and you know, like you said on the special teams, we're gonna see him lay somebody out.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see him play on special
Dude
teams.
is yeah, he's a monster.
What about defensive tackle? Probably one of the strongest position groups for the Cowboys. They've got Mozzie Smith, Jonathan Hankins, also how do Odeahu
Nigizua.
Odigizua, and then they
Yeah,
have Junior
he's a
Fehoko.
veteran. He's back. Yep.
Yep, and Neville Gallimore, Chauncey Golson. So they're pretty stacked. That's
Bringing
one of
back,
their
yeah,
strongest.
Yeah, bringing back Gallimore, Goldston, of course, bringing back um, Digizua, and yeah, with adding Mozzie Smith in the mix is just gonna be crazy, dude. Because yeah, we saw what he did in preseason, and I mean, of course, they're gonna double team him, but even with them double teaming him, he's taking up so much space.
Yeah.
He's just wreaking havoc for these defenses, man.
Yeah, and that was in the preseason. So like during the season when he actually is playing with um when he's playing with Micah Parsons, Demarcus Lawrence, he's not gonna be getting double teamed. So he'll be able
Right,
to
yeah, yeah,
plug some holes and make some plays. So I
for
think that's
sure.
when I think I think preseason he didn't look great, but that's because they were just taking care of him. But during the season when the Cowboys have all their starters on the field, I think he'll be able to shine a little bit more.
Oh yeah, definitely. And yeah, man, with him and Digizua coming back and Golston and Gallimore, it's gonna be crazy, man. Dorrance Armstrong, you know,
Yep.
it's yeah, it's gonna be crazy. And of course, Dan Quinn likes to flip around his tackles and defensive ends, so you just
Oh,
you just never know what he's gonna throw at you. So it's awesome that we're so deep this year because we're gonna have so many different looks for teams.
yeah, he definitely he enjoys getting creative, that's for sure. Let's see here. They also have, if everyone's healthy, which they should be, the cornerback positions really stacked with Trevon Diggs, Stephon Gilmore, new addition, Deron Bland, Jordan Lewis as the top four corners. I mean, that's a pretty stacked
Yeah.
position group right there.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Just that whole rotation right there between those four guys is just it's gonna be good for us this year. We really need that. We really need, people who are gonna go out there and defend, get in these guys' faces and it's hard, whenever they have to guard the best receivers. So it's good that we have a lot of depth there. We also have Nashawn Wright. Nashawn Wright, he made a little bit of noise last year. He's a young guy, but I think he has a good chance of getting some playing time as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think they really they take advantage of like the such good pass rush Dallas usually gets with Parsons, Lawrence. So as long as the Cowboys can get a pass rush up front, that's when the DBs usually take advantage and get those turnovers and cover their receivers.
Yeah, and even the safety position is just, really, really plentiful, really stacked. Like I feel like, we're gonna do really well on defense this year.
Oh yeah, I
We got
mean
Malik,
Donovan
you know,
Wilson.
with yeah, Malik Hooker coming back, Ron Curse, who could also be flip-flopped into that linebacker position. They got Marquise Bell, and we talked about Wanye Thomas already.
Oh
It's
yeah.
They're just so stacked, man. Israel Mukuamu, he got a little bit of playing time last year, so a lot of experience.
Yeah, up and down this roster. Now I'm looking, I wouldn't say the only not bad position group, but the probably like the more underrated or lesser known is probably like the better way to put it is the linebackers. So of course we have Leighton Vander Esch, but there's Damon Clark and Devin Harper and Marquise Bell. So Marquise Bell, the Cowboys, they're always rotating linebackers. Usually play two linebacker sets. So a lot will be expected out of Harper and Bell this year.
Yeah, it's either going to be Devin Harper or Marquise Bell coming into that rotation with Van Der Esch and Damone Clark. We saw him. He's a young guy too, but he seems like he had a really good offseason, got a lot stronger and faster. Harper did decent in the preseason as well, but that's where these safeties are going to come into effect, and another thing with Dan Quinn, I wouldn't, Michael Parsons is still listed as a linebacker, so I wouldn't
Hmm.
count him out, going back in the linebacker position if we need him because Like we said, with the defensive ends being so stacked, like the possibilities are endless.
Yeah, there's nothing I love more about Dan Quinn and this Dallas Cowboys defense than the way they move everybody around, especially Micah Parsons. The guy plays linebacker, in rush, defensive tackle, and he gives everyone problems, even whenever he's in pass coverage. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how the Cowboys defense plays this season.
Oh yeah, Michael Parsons, he's always gonna be the X factor. He's just gonna keep getting better and better every year. Like a lot of people were a little confused when the Cowboys drafted him so high, but like dude is a monster. Like all those people feel so dumb now.
Yeah, especially the 49ers when they drafted Trey Lance over Michael Parsons. So I'm sure John Lynch regrets that every day.
Yo, everything comes full circle, man.
Oh yeah. So what do you see, or how do you see the Cowboys doing this season? Because I got, a couple weeks ago I received some flack saying, Cowboys, I don't know how they're going to do this season. Uh and mainly because of the offense with Dak Prescott. Who knows? Like, he could have a great season, but the only thing that matters is the playoffs. And then no Zeke, which a lot of people hate Zeke, but now the main thing is Pollard and these other guys. They're gonna have to carry
Yeah.
the running game for a whole season, something they've never done before. So what do you think, or how do you think the Cowboys season's gonna go this year?
Well, I think in the running back position, like all these younger guys are, I think they're all hungry enough to where they're gonna shine the way, they need to shine, and it really just all depends on Dak. It just depends on Dak, how he plays, how he leads this team. He needs to, just come out here and lead the team. And from what I've seen in the preseason and the practice workouts and stuff, he's been throwing the deep ball a lot. It seems like he's ready to come out there and take some risks, make some make some different plays. The way that he did whenever Romo was mentoring him the year
Romo,
that
hold
Romo
up.
was injured. Yeah, shout out Tony Romo. But yeah, because that year that Romo was mentoring him, that was, I think, in my opinion, is still Dak's best season. His rookie year and the year after that were, have been his two
Yeah,
strongest seasons,
100%.
even though he was young. So, you know, I think it's not that he's gotten any worse, skill wise. It's not, I don't think it's the injuries. I think he just needs to go out there and throw those deep balls, go out there and just make shit happen.
And to piggyback off of that, the one team, or not the one team, the one position group we didn't talk about was a Cowboy wide receiver, which it's gonna look, I wouldn't say totally different, but they're gonna have some
Yeah.
new players there, especially Jalen Tolbert, Jalen Brooks. We're both hoping Cavante Turpin gets some more playing time. So, what do you think about the receiving group the Cowboys have going into the season?
A lot of people talked about our receiving group last year, saying that the Cowboys were strong at the receiver position. And I think this year we've only gotten better, honestly, because we lost Noah Brown. He made a few things happen for us, but there was also a lot of interceptions that came off of like bad Noah Brown routes or, you know, a lot of those Dak mistakes were a lot, from the receivers not catching balls. And I think this year, with CD Lamb, Brandon Cooks, Michael Gallup, uh, Cavante Turpin wants to come in and make some noise. And then we got the two young Jalen's, the rookie and the second year player. And I think that receiving core right there, they're all a lot of veterans in that core and they're just ready to make some catches. They all have good hands, they all have speed. Yeah, I'm just excited to see what they do
Yeah, I mean
because
that's a pretty strong top three right there. Brandon Cook, C.D. Lamb,
yeah.
and Michael Gallup. That's a pretty strong three right there.
Yeah, I feel like it's the strongest core we've had, in years because it was like we always had a couple of, decent guys. Like, we had that one number one strong receiver, and then it would be like, the two and three were always iffy. But this year, it's like we have a very strong top three, and then very strong backups behind them, and Cavante Turpin, Jalen Tolbert, Jalen Brooks. Like,
Yeah.
they kept them around for a reason, and I was a little disappointed in seeing Fehoko go, but as
Oh,
long as he's
that's
still on the
right.
practice squad. But I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, the wide receiver Fehoko, he had a good preseason games. He's a big guy, strong guy, fast guy. But hey, they chose Jalen Tolbert and Jalen Brooks for a reason. So we'll
Yeah,
see. We'll
and
see what they do.
we're pretty high on Jalen Tolbert. He played great in the preseason. I think he's going to fit in nicely, especially if we know CD Lamb's going to be covered, and then if
Yep.
Brandon Cooks could just stay healthy, that'll be awesome. And then we have Michael Gallup with his, which this is his second season back from ACL. I think it was ACL injury. So he
Yeah,
should
he's had a
be
couple of knee injuries. So.
yeah, so he should be back, and I think if Tolbert comes in there and he'll fit in well, they have a really strong wide receiver group.
Yeah, and then, you know, we also have the strong tight end core where we could come in and, throw a double tight end set, and the possibilities are endless. Like Dak has the weapons this year. Um, they could, throw in Deuce Vaughn as a little slot receiver or
Oh
something. Like,
yes.
yeah, man, it's gonna be a good year. I always have high hopes for the Cowboys, but this
No,
year
not
just,
you.
it feels like a good year, a really good year coming that we're about to see, man. It's gonna be a really good year.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope everyone meshes well on offense. If the offensive line could stay healthy, that's obviously going to be huge for Dallas. And yeah, and then come playoff time, as long as Dallas can get there, we'll see what Dak can do. And that's that's what has happened what the past 2 years against the 49ers. So maybe the third
Yeah.
time's a charm.
Yeah, like I said, everything comes full circle, man. The whole Micah Parsons thing with the the trade. So yeah, and it's the third time a charm. So if we see the 49ers, yeah, for sure they're going down. But
Yeah,
I don't see the
that would be nice.
49ers even making it that far, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not. I wasn't a big Brock Purdy fan. I mean, he played great, but we'll see if he could replicate what he kind of did last year. So we'll see if he could do it again.
Yeah, it's a different story when you're leading the team, for the entire season, especially coming off of his injury and his age. I feel like the reason why the 49ers were in that position last year was because of Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah,
He he's a veteran guy. I mean, you know, I feel like he got him there, but the reins were just handed to Purdy, and he did what he had to do. He beat us, of course, but
yeah.
yeah, it won't
Unfortunately,
happen again. It won't happen again.
but yeah, that's pretty much that. What we wanted to go over was a roster breakdown and who we got rid of, who we kept. We didn't really. I don't think Dallas had any waiver pickups. I didn't see any, and I don't see any listed now. So I don't think they really picked anyone up. So, let me double check to make sure.
Yeah, I think it was just the Trey Lance pickup. We didn't talk a whole
Um,
lot about the O line, but I feel like our O line is, always pretty strong.
Yeah, as long as they're healthy, they're up there with one of the best offensive lines. And Tyler Smith coming back for his, I think this is going to be his second year, and he played great last year. We got the Zach Martin contract figured out, but yeah, I'm gonna have to agree that Cowboys offensive line, as long as they're healthy, they're going to be strong. So hopefully Tyron Smith can give us a strong season.
Yeah, and this year, what they're gonna end up doing is having Tyron Smith and Tyler Smith on the same side of the line. Last year, with Tyler Smith, being a new addition, they were just
Hmm.
still trying to figure out what they wanted to do with him on the line. But with Tyler Smith and Tyron Smith on the same side of the line, And then of course we got our center Biotish coming back,
Oh yeah.
Zach Martin, the god of everyone, best guard in the league, and then Terrence Steele on side of him. Like we've got a really strong line coming in. I feel like we finally figured out what we wanted to do with it. The new offensive coordinator, he's, an old school guy, so he's gonna, instill those hard-nosed morals into them.
And that's the other thing. Mike McCarthy's going to be calling the plays, so there's nobody else to blame, nobody else to for whatever reason about play calling. Everything's going to be on McCarthy. He's going to be calling the offense, so that's something to look for as well. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he could do with Dak. And what is this, year number 3?
Yeah, yeah, and that's a little bit of what he did when he was with Green Bay, and apparently what McCarthy plans on doing is giving Dak a lot of control of the offense based on what he sees on the field, and that's I think he has a lot of trust in Dak, and he feels like that's going to make Dak more comfortable when it comes to making the right decisions out there, making the right throws, the right play calls, the right play changes when he's out there based on what he sees. Because last year with um, Kellen Moore, of course, he's a brilliant offensive mind, brilliant play caller, but I feel like a lot of it was Kellen Moore putting his foot down and, because he knew that, oh yeah, well, I'm Kellen Moore, big shot offensive play caller. So Dak, go out there and run this and,
Yeah.
just don't change the play. And a lot of that led to mistakes last year, I feel like. So yeah, with, Dak and McCarthy both in control now, I think they have really good chemistry and a relationship between each other to where, yeah, they're gonna make it work, make it click.
Yeah, I hope so. And I think that's something to look at is how the offense gels together with the play calling and Dak and McCarthy. So I definitely look forward to that.
Yeah, for sure. It's gonna be a good year. I'm excited.
Cowboys to the Super Bowl.
I think I say that every year.
Right.
Yeah, I say that every year. But yeah, if we ever had a chance, it's this year.
Oh yeah.
If we, I feel more comfortable saying it this year.
Okay.
That's why
What
I'm a
this
little
year
more
then?
serious about it.
You're like, nah, this year I mean it. I
Like
gotta say
yeah,
it.
before it's like, oh yeah, yeah, of course, cat. No, this year I'm like, yeah. Yeah, we're actually, very stacked. As long as everyone stays healthy, knock on wood,
Yeah.
we got this, bro. Like, there's no way.
So what do you think? I've been waiting for a Chiefs Cowboys Super Bowl myself. What's your Super Bowl prediction?
Uh, I mean, I like Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, but I don't want to see them in another Super Bowl, bro.
Well, especially if the
Not another.
Cowboys are in the Super Bowl, you don't want to
Yeah,
see that.
not another one. We haven't seen you know, Josh Allen in a Super Bowl, have we?
No, no, it's just
That would
been
be,
Mahomes, and then who's in the AFC? Oh, um, I don't
yeah,
know.
the
Joe Burrow
Bengals,
and the Bengals. That's right.
Joe
That's right.
Burrow and the Bengals. Yeah, you know, Joe Burrow, of course, he's really good. He's a good quarterback, but I would say it would be between the Bengals and the Bills. But
Bengals and
my
the
first
Bills.
choice was obviously the Bills. So, or how about we do a AFC NFC championship pick?
Okay, let's hear it.
So, so yeah, you heard the AFC, and I feel like the NFC is probably going to be the Cowboys and the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, I would be excited to see Cowboys Eagles. That would be
Yeah.
I think it's two of the best, two of the at least two of the top teams in the NFC. Will be spoiled and get to watch them play twice during the season, and those
Yeah.
are always highly contested rivalry games. Both teams, both fan bases hate each other. So, three games, and the third game being in the NFC Championship, that would just be make it perfect. Cherry on top.
Oh yeah. Especially when we come out with the W.
I hope so. But
Yeah.
I mean, I just think that the Eagles have such a strong roster. I mean, so do the Cowboys, but I like the Cowboys defense more. But
Yeah.
The Eagles just have such a strong roster as well, man.
Yeah. And a couple of dark horses I see would be, the Dolphins, of course.
Dolphins,
They seem like they seem like they could have a good year this year, and the Steelers are looking pretty good
Steelers, yeah, that could
with
be a
all
real
like
good. That could be a dark
yeah,
horse pick. The Pittsburgh
with all
Steelers.
yeah, Kenny Pickett.
Year two for Kenny Pickett. He could probably get the job done. We'll see. But yeah, I think the Steelers are going to be a team a little under the radar. A lot of people will be high on the Jets, of course. Jets have a pretty good defense, and Aaron
Yeah,
Rodgers in town. So
yeah, it's gonna be a good season, man. Exciting season. A lot of good teams coming out, but Cowboys to the Super Bowl.
Cowboys to the Super Bowl against the Bills. So that's we'll see
You
if that
heard it.
happens. That would be great. Where's the Super Bowl this year? I'm not
I
sure if
don't
it's
even
in Vegas this year. Maybe
I don't even
not.
know.
But yeah, I think the Cowboys will have a pretty good season and just trying to do something in the playoffs, man. That's losing to the 49ers with with the offense playing terrible. It's just I don't want to see that again.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
But
I think, yeah, it's been boring playing the 49ers all these years, so I hope we
agonizing.
don't
It's been agonizing.
yeah. Yeah, I hope we don't ever see them in the playoffs again.
Yeah, I mean, if they do, I don't mind it, man. I really thought they were going to win last year, but if they play them again, Cowboys have to win. I mean, there's
Yeah.
no other question.
Yeah, I mean, it would definitely be motivating for them
Yeah,
to get another chance. Oh yeah, the Super Bowl is in Vegas this
it
year.
is okay. So I knew it was coming up. I wasn't too sure if it was finally time for it, but I'm kind of glad it is. So a
Yeah.
Cowboys, Bills, Cowboys, any AFC team in the Super Bowl in
Yeah,
Vegas,
I
that'd
guess
be great.
yeah, it sounds like that was my prediction. Those were the first two teams I mentioned, so
Yeah,
mark it down,
we'll
see
go
if
ahead
it
to
happens.
write it down right now. Cowboys, Bills, Super Bowl.
Preseason pick, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it.
Well, I think that's all we have from today, Ryan. What do you think? Anything else you wanted to add?
I don't think so, man. I think we touched base on everything we needed to, and yeah, I'm just excited for that, week 0.
Week zero game. Yep, me too. And we'll be back, I guess, once either before the game or after the game, during the game, who knows? But that's when we'll probably come back with the next episode, and we'll have rants and get some guys, or not get some guys, get some people in the chat. Let's see here,
Yeah.
and then other Cowboys Nation members. So what's up, Connor? Connor just got in the chat. But yeah, that's everything we have here, and hopefully we can get some more um, Cowboys content out for y'all. So if y'all have any questions, want to talk about anything, topics, anything like that, just let us know. Drop us a comment, subscribe, and we'll get as much Cowboys content out for you as whether it's good or bad after win or after
Oh,
a
it's
loss.
it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be good. Whether we win or lose, we'll have some good content for y'all. But just be sure to subscribe, and we'll see y'all later. We'll go ahead and head out now.
Alrighty. Appreciate you, John.